All right, everybody, we're going to talk about a couple things today. One of them is we're going to talk about a vertical line test. Have you ever wondered why it is that that vertical line test is telling you what you have as a function or not? This is going to be talking about negative and positive slope. All right, so nice thing about algebra is that when we're working with graphing, you're being able to see things. And so this will go into geometry and other things that will be able to be more visual, be able to help you out. So in graphing, we look at slopes. And on this plane here, you'll have several different types of slopes. And usually it's very easy to be able to look at them and just be able to quickly tell. Like most everything I've taught or have been teaching, you're going to look at this from left to right, okay, on your graph. So, from left to right, I'm going to put a line. I'm going to call this line A. From left to right, I'm going to put another line. I'm going to call this line B. And the last one, let's call this one line C. Now, I've noticed that about myself is I always use black, and other people I've watched teaching, they use different colors, but sometimes having problems seeing the color makes it hard for me to tell which one I'm doing. So, sorry, they're all the same color. So, let's look at line A. So, line A here, if I'm reading from this from left to right, goes from the bottom of your graph to the top of your graph. Now, it's not going to matter necessarily where that this line is. It's just going to matter that it's going in that general direction. All right. So if we're going from left to right and it's going up, then this would be a positive slope. Okay. Now line B. Line B is actually interesting. So let's hold off on that one until the end. It's still simple, but I'm going to just leave it for a minute. So line C, from left to right, should be a negative slope because it's going down from left to right. Line B, there is no slope. Okay, so no slope, no slop, no slope. So line B, no slope, there's no change. Even if it was just a little bit, let's say it went down just a little bit, that's a little bit more than a little bit, but there would still be a negative slope. So this one, no slope. A is a positive slope, and C is a negative slope. So those are things that you can visually tell pretty quickly. Let's talk about the next thing here is how you can tell using a vertical line test that something is a function. I've got a couple different things here. You'll probably see these quite often. So something like this. So a vertical line test just simply says you're going to take your marker or pencil and you're going to go straight down, and if you can hit it twice, then it is not a function. Okay? Now, in other videos that I've done and other things that we've gone through, you have a table like this, and you have your X and your Y, or your input and output, range and domain, whatever the case may be, and you're going through inputs and outputs. And in other videos, you have one input, let's use 2, and you only get one output, let's say 3. So a visual test of seeing if it's a function is with the line, but over here, if I have another 2, and then I have a 4, then that is a visual for not a function. And so what you're saying here is your X, the one that goes to the left and right, your X is going to move to the right in this particular case here, but then you have one that goes up and one that goes down, and so now you're having a case like this. So if we were going to go 2 to the right, let's change these numbers here, and then we were going to go, I don't know, like 5 up and 5 down, you no longer have a function. All right? And so that is what the vertical line test is doing. That's why it's not a function. Let's see if we got a different shape here. Same idea. It's always a good idea to remember how to label that. Okay, so I'm going to just put this here, and let's go kind of like this. Now, this one's a little tricky for me. Oh, yep, I messed that one up. Hang on, almost there. Well, we're going to just work with that. You don't realize how hard it is to draw these things until you're trying to draw them. That's close enough. There we go. All right. So now we're going to do the same thing. There's a test. Now, once again, I did it a little close, but this one has one touch there, one touch there, and so on and so forth. So that would be a function, even though it's a little curvy. How about this one? Well, it can only touch one spot, two spots. Okay, so that is a function, and these are actually, later on, you'll get into these in algebra. I'm not going to get into those too much right now. Okay, another example of a function, or not a function, sorry, be a circle. If you see a circle, you just assume it's not a function. So the parallel line, or not the parallel line test, the vertical line test makes it so that you can tell if something is a function or not. And it's a very good visual of being able to do it. All right, hopefully you enjoyed the video.